Today, from the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, this is the NFL on EA Sports.
Glad you're with us. It's Blake Groupie to get this one started, and off we go here in New Orleans. From out of his end zone, it's Avery Williams. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. The Saints say they have it, and they do. And how about that for some fireworks to start this one?
And the fireworks turned out to be for the kicking team, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, go down there, make a play, knock it free, and end up with the football. And for the team who's supposed to have the ball, now their defense has to run out on the field and see if they can slow things down a bit.
A quick scramble for the helmets, and now we switch sides. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Second down and a little more than a yard here. A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And Kamara's going to have a Saints first down as he's down inside the 15. Now Carr. Flush to his right. And this is incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. Throw left side complete. That's Perry. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Yeah, he'll be taken down after big yardage, but folks, there is a flag down, and they're already walking this one back. Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move them back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. That's what counts more.
Now Carr. He'll find Shaheed out to the right. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Carr. Dancing to his left. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. So he went out of the pocket left, and then things got dicey.
And what often happens is when they get outside, they want to keep their eyes downfield in order to try and complete a pass. But when they try to make a play, they've got to get their footwork involved, and that can really mess them up as well. And in this case, nothing went right, and the ball got knocked free.
Cousins' throw taken in by London. And right away, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And did he get in? No, they'll mark him down at the 1-yard line. This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery. First quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Falcons. And oh, he coughed it up. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. To throw his Carr. Steps away to his left. On the check down, he finds Kamara. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been in a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling. Maybe we ask them to help us with the laterals as well and make that a better play.
Cousins now. Flushed out right. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. Working out of the gun. Cousins escaping the pressure right. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll back them up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A nice throw there by this rookie from Michigan State that results in a 1st down.
I know they got the 1st down, but Brandon, I still don't like the call going for it there. Yeah, they got it, but I would have punted the ball there, played some field position. I mean, it's okay to end drives and kicks, right? You know, we've heard that from different guys before. Remember, a kick's either a punt.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been in a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling. Maybe we ask them to help us with the laterals as well and make that a better play.
And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. To throw, it's Carr. Eluding the pressure right. Underneath. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. Oh, he put it on the carpet. A fumble. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And he's got room. And the ball is going to wind up out of bounds, so they will lose yardage, but they'll keep the football.
So, partner, that play broke huge. And when you can get a guy into the open field after the catch, he does actually turn into a running back, but in this case,
that's not his role.
No, not ultimately, because he didn't do what? He didn't secure the football. And if he had done that, that play would have been spectacular. Instead, he turns it over.
Yeah, a big play, all for naught. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 14 yards there and a Falcon 1st down. They'll run this. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been at a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling. Maybe we ask them to help us with the laterals as well and make that a better play.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it. Taking it right down Broadway. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been at a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see.
And the ball is knocked out, and this is picked up by the Saints. Okay, here we go. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been at a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling. Maybe we ask them to help us with the laterals as well and make that a better play. I like the design of that play, or shall I say the way it ended up. Quarterback ends up to the right side. You know, it gets outside of the pocket. How about the tight end staying in his sight line and getting to that same part of the field? And they find each other for the completion.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Puts it on the carpet. It's out. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And the defense has got it. Oh, a nightmare start offensively. This will be a touchdown. Once that ball was loose, the question was, would this be 2 or would it be 6? It's 6. The defense able to pounce on it.
And for the offense, the training didn't really kick in, did it? Once that ball comes loose, you've got to get on it, make sure that you recover it, or make sure you punch it out of the end zone. Anything but give it to the defense to score a touchdown.
Now the ball comes loose, and this is picked up by the. Look at this, middle of the field, and now look at this, big gain but a fumble, and he's into the end zone, a fumble return, and a Saint touchdown.
That's a lesson right there, never giving up on a play, because that was a near catastrophe. He lost the football down near the goal line, but he was able to keep an eye on it the whole way and fall on it for a touchdown.
Carr will look to throw. It's complete. And he is not going to make it. They stop him up short, and this will remain a 6-0 ball game.
I have to admit, I love the excitement of a two-point try. You know, to see what's going to happen, and it happens pretty quickly, doesn't it? You get an answer, and in this case, it was unsuccessful for the guys trying it.
Completely unrelated. I just realized that I stole both of your pins in this last game. My bad, partner.
Hey, that's okay. Well, and just in the time they went for 2.
From the end zone, here comes Williams. And he loses the football a second time. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And that one is his second fumble loss. Not a good look out of your return man.
And not only does he hurt the momentum for his team or even change momentum of the game, but now they've got a decision to make on his own sideline. Does he continue to do that? Do you keep him in that role?
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Someone's looking fresh, and his O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
Second and short now following the fumble. Shotgun now for Carr. Flush to his right. Dumps it complete to Miller. Seven yards there and a first down. Now Carr. Buying time to his left. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. And now a fumble. The ball's out. Throwing on first down is Carr. Flushed out right. On the right side, this is Miller. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be left with second and a couple. 6-0 our score after 1. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession, as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. Carr now to throw. Being chased out left. And it's out. He put it on the carpet, and the Falcons grab it. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he is going to lose yardage here. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough. Carr. Forced out to his left. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Hill. So no gain on the play. And this brings up a 3rd and goal. On play action, it's Carr. On the move to his left. And he lost the football. And the Falcons say they have it. They do. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been at a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe let...
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. And it's a fumble. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. A first down throw for Cousins. Dancing to his left. He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 48 yards for an offense that has not found the end zone yet. That's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Meanwhile, Cousins' throw there complete to Mooney. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. So illegal touching, Charles, on the outside.
And a lot of people wonder if the quarterback should see that. No, it's not his job to understand if the receiver's inbounds or out of bounds. You expect them to be there. But if he takes a step out, he essentially becomes ineligible. And that's not a...
Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And this is picked up by the Saints. It's going the other way. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been at a lot of practices, it's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling, maybe we ask them to help us with the laterals as well and make that a better play.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Carr going to throw. There's Chris Olave. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. It's another 1st down as this time they get an even 20. Play action. Now it's Carr. Steps away. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. On 1st down, Carr steps away to his left. He completes it to Olave. Escapes the defender. And they'll get this down to the 10. So they say he went out of bounds, came back in, then touched the football.
Can't be the first guy to touch it when you come back in bounds. That's why the penalty goes against him. Have to know where you are on the field.
Here's Carr to throw. Buying time to his left. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, I could spin this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage. But when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And down inside the 15 he goes. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Into the red zone, it's Carr. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. That's one of those long drives where not only do you score, but you really tire out the defense too.
That's a great point because now they've been on the field for a long time. Them going to the bench, trying to make adjustments, trying to figure things out, but they'll do so fatigued.
They'll turn to Kamara. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now nothing but green ahead of him. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And now he'll be taken down in the end zone. What's the ruling here? If he was out of the end zone and came back in, that's going to be a point for the kicking team. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
Flush to his right. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been at a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. From the gun, it's Carr. Sliding out of the pocket. Slant pass complete to Olave. And a loose football. And the Falcons grab it. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been at a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. Ball on the 40 now. Here's second down at 7. To throw is Cousins. Throw left side. There's London. And he is not going to go anywhere. They're going to get to him behind the line, and that is going to get us to the 2-minute warning. The line to gain is the 33 on third down. To throw, Cousins. Flushed out right. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. And oh, he coughed it up. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been at a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling. Maybe we ask them to help us with the laterals as well and make that a better play.
Carr's throw caught by Olave. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. On play action, now Carr. Finds his man, that's Olave on the crossing route. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. 2nd and 6. Now they'll throw with Carr. 20, 10. A gain of 28 yards there and give them the first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Carr. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Falcons grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He already had the one fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Final play of the half, Cousins. That's going to be caught downfield by Mooney. The ball comes out, and this is picked up by the Saints. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And this one will actually go out of bounds, so no recovery. And that is how we conclude this first half. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. Oh, and miscommunication on the lateral. The ball's out, and the Falcons grab it. And they'll spot him at the 3-yard line. So a turnover there on the kickoff, and don't look now, but that just made things a little more interesting.
Very interesting, because when you're trailing in a game, these are the mistakes that you pray for. You just went down and scored. Now you get the football right back with another great opportunity.
Robinson. Fighting, but he won't get too far. Maybe a yard, that's all, down to the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
Throwing, Cousins. Here's a screen for Robinson. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And this is picked up by the Saints. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
I know many talk about the kick return as maybe the most exciting play in football, but any type of a return where it's a change of possession, where the defense gets the ball, that's exciting too, but it's not just an accident. Once they get the football, they've worked on finding people to block, creating running lanes for the guy with the ball, and protecting him. And this one was a long run.
Absolutely, they did all of that and more. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Now Carr. And the ball is knocked out. Breaks a tackle. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Now Carr. Being chased out left. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Falcons say they have it. They do. Well, you had an offense working with a comfortable 2-score lead here in the third quarter, and certainly doesn't feel as comfortable now following the turnover.
Yeah, you're right about that, because now the nerves start to come into play a little bit. You're a little bit jangled. You don't want to give your opponents any avenues to get back into the game. What you'd rather do, put up signs that say, roads closed. His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Now a throw here, hauled in, and he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Off the play fake, Cousins rolling to his right. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And he'll bring it back to about the 5-yard line. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been at a lot of practices, it's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling, maybe we ask them to help us with the laterals as well and make that a better play.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. To throw his car. Forced out to his left. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. Three tight ends up front here. 3rd and goal. Kamara. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. And I think the ball's out. And this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery. But on 4th down, a change of possession anyway. I love plays like that. A defensive lineman holding the football. It's like a kid who stole a cookie from the cookie jar, and then he's just fleeing the scene of the crime.
And all he's doing in his mind, reliving his days when he was young, probably played fullback on his high school team.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Kirk Cousins taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Falcons have cut it back within a score. So that pretty conclusively, I might add, shows you the perils of going for it and not making it on 4th down. One play, touchdown.
Yeah, and I've got to put this on the man in charge, the head coach. He made the decision to go for it. To me, when punting was the only decision.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense.
Yeah, that's true. You've said that before. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Completes it to Perry. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet. Down. This will wind up incomplete.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Carr. Dancing to his left. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Juwan Jackson. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Saints are able to stretch out their lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
They'll turn to Kamara. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the 2-point attempt is turned aside. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And a mistake on the lateral. It's a loose ball. And this is picked up by the set. Oh, and miscommunication on the lateral. The ball's out. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. They go play action. Cousins. Oh, what a catch by London. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Play action now. Cousins. Throws right back to London. Complete again. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And this is picked up by the Saints. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Okay, so he stepped foot out of bounds. Charles came back in first to touch it, and they got him for illegal touching.
Yeah, and you know it doesn't matter either, Brandon. Catch it, don't catch it. If you're the first to touch it, that's going to draw a flag.
Robinson will try to pick it up. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. They'll run for it with Robinson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by this. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a 2nd time.
Now they bring a receiver in motion right. They'll try and run it here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it. Now the ball comes loose, and the Falcons grab it. No, bottled up fumble. It's out. It's loose. And now he'll be taken down in the end zone. What's the ruling here? If he was out of the end zone and came back in, that's going to be a point for the kicking team. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And a mistake on the lateral. It's a loose ball. And this is picked up by the Saints. And first and goal is what it will be at the 6-yard line. Excellent field position.
Starting to get the sense throughout the league that more of the special teams coordinators give their guys the green light to bring the ball out because everyone wants big plays to happen. I don't know if that philosophy will hold after that error there. Turn it over that deep in their own team.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
To throw, it's Carr. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Falcons, he's got the lane, and there he goes. Puts it on the carpet. It's out. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Well, number one on the list of things not to do when you're up 3 scores in the third, that right there, give the football away.
I love when you speak like that. You know how doctors talk about taking the Hippocratic oath, first do no harm? You just did the football-cratic one right there. Don't give the ball away when you have a lead that you can lock this game down with.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up first and goal.
And you start to think if it's going to happen for these guys, it's got to start with this drive. Down 3 scores, they need to start making some inroads. And that'll help the cause there as they pick up good yardage and a first down.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down. Cousins now. Sets up the screen to Robinson. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Eluding the pressure right. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Let's get him. Come on.
So with a 4th and goal looming, we hit the end of 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Yeah, the defense says they have it. They do. 1 play into the ball game, an early turnover.
And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been in a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling, maybe we ask them to help us with the laterals as well and make that a better play.
And he'll get it up here this time to the 21.
So illegal touching, Charles. If you set foot out of bounds as a receiver, you can't be the first to touch it.
You nailed it on that one. You've got to be mindful of the sideline.
Throwing his car on 3rd down.
Pass taken in by his big...
And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And the Falcons grab it. And did he get in? No. They'll mark him down at the 1-yard line. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been in a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're...
And he loses the football a 2nd time. And this is picked up by the Saints.
We can come up with a lot of different explanations here. None of them are going to work. At the 1-yard line and coughing it up, no way.
You got to protect that thing like it's your firstborn.
Your firstborn, your secondborn,
your
anyone. It doesn't matter. Take care of the football. You're in a position to go in and score. At worst, you've given up a chance to get 3 points.
And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line.
2nd down and 3.
Shotgun now for Carr. Flush to his right.
This one taken in by Olave.
Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And, partner, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but, man, just in general, those laterals, they can be so risky, and we see the risk that can be involved right there.
And you just have to know, and we've seen it because we've been at a lot of practices. It's not something that's practiced very often. You know, in that situation, you don't see guys really working on it. Maybe like we're bringing the rugby guys in to help us with tackling. Maybe we ask them to help us with the laterals as well and make that a better play.
Now Cousins.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's Cousins. Flushed out right.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
A nice pickup there, 18 yards, 1st down Falcons.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league, they take particular delight in their red zone calls because those are the payoff ones. But you can't call a play if your team doesn't have the ball.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. But the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession.
So danger averted for the moment, but now here's a 3rd and long.
Play fake. Cousins. He'll buy some time right.
And, oh, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down.
That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end.
But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Saints will have the football back. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him.
Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football, and the Falcons grab it. Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football. Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football.
On and looks.
Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football.
Now he's free at the 35. He may go.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Boy, CD, what a way to score. You want to talk about a roller coaster of emotions. They've got the big play, then they cough it up. It seems to be disastrous, but his teammate is there to scoop it and score it.
Not much else I can add to that, partner. I'll just say one thing. We just saw momentum swing several times on one play.
That's caught. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively.
Oh, and miscommunication on the lateral. The ball's out. And I believe he was able to get this back. He was. Boy, after giving up the touchdown, lucky that didn't turn into another.
I didn't do this in college, but I did it in high school. When you return kicks and you lose it yourself, the panic that goes through you and the determination to get the ball back, I don't even know how to describe it. And I think we just saw an example there.
Yeah, and the relief when you get it back like he did.
Yeah, you go to the sidelines, you know you're going to get yelled at, but you can handle it because you got the ball back.
Boy, so what else could go wrong for him here? It's an illegal touching penalty on the outside.
Yeah, Brandon, that really wasn't a very disciplined play, was it? Because you got to know where you are on the field. You can't get that close to the sideline because if you step out of bounds, you can't be the first to re-enter and touch it. That's an easy call for the officials.
And he'll be corralled right around the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing is Cousins. Got London on a slant. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Cousins. And caught by London. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to puts it on the carpet. It's out. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And he'll be brought down with a penalty flag on the field. It was a late decision to throw, and it might have been too late. Well, we knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
Well, when you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage. They can often throw it over your head.
3rd and short yardage. Cousins escaping the pressure right.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one good for 24 yards.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Cousins to throw it. Eluding the pressure right. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up. Now Cousins steps away to his left. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a 1st down.
Oh, man. Just when the D thought they had the answer for him, he went and changed the question. Surprises him by taking off himself. He's able to set up his offense pretty with a 1st and goal.
It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. To throw is Cousins. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. They'll roll. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
So crisis averted, but now facing 3rd and goal.
Flush to his right. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th and goal here as they search for a late score. Maybe one final chance here to make this a bit more respectable as they'll go for it on 4th and goal. Buying time to his left. And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by in trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. So the running game gets them all the way down, knocking on the door. They try to pass, fumble.
I think a lot of times you expect pressure in that situation from the defense, so you outguess them or try to outguess them and throw the ball. In this case, it wasn't the right call. The running game, maybe they should have stuck with it.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Carr going to look to throw.
There's Chris Olave. And out across midfield down to the 45.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Here's Carr to throw. Being chased out left. And he's got some space here. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
This 2nd and 4.
Carr going to throw. Flushed out right. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and just like that, it's 3rd down. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2.
On play action, it's Carr.
That is caught.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. The big fella. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. And now 3 drives, 3 fumbles.
What's amazing about it is when we go around and watch practices, how many times do we see them put that sleeve over a football now to make it more slippery and hard to handle? It's almost like they're playing with that sleeve on the ball right now. Was it 3 drives?
Yep.
3 fumbles?
3 fumbles.
It's time to change our luck some way, somehow. Focus, concentration, you'll hear those words on the bench in a big way right now.
So this one a victory here for New Orleans. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you could just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.